Patrick Mahomes just got Shannon Sharp money.
$500 million.
Patrick Mahomes' new mega 10-year extension with the Chiefs, the largest contract in sports history.
This is a Patrick Mahomes market.
The Chiefs signed their star quarterback to
12-year, $500 million deal.
And that's not how NFL contracts work.
Forget the number. I think the Chiefs got the much better end of this deal. What did he do this deal for right now?
He's only getting a little over $1.5 million a year.
The deal is actually structured so that they can take care of other players and build a team around Patrick Mahomes.
They're going to come back and redo this deal.
Imagine having $45 million in your bank account. Now imagine watching it disappear in just 24 hours. For most people, this would be a nightmare. But for Patrick Mahomes, it was all part of the plan.
He wanted something that works for everyone.
On March 17th, 2024, the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback made a decision
Kansas City Chiefs select
that shocked the NFL world and proved why he might be the smartest player in the league. What followed wasn't just a story about money. It was a masterclass in leadership, legacy, and the true meaning of winning in the NFL.
Mahomes is such a good dude. He did not tie this to a percentage of the cap. He did not sign the kind of deal that hamstrings the team going forward.
Today, we're going to break down exactly how Mahomes orchestrated one of the most brilliant financial moves in sports history.
Patrick Mahomes is going to play this contract out based on his age.
It's not just about his greatness on the field, it's also his marketability.
And why it might have just secured the Chiefs' dynasty for years to come.
It certainly works for the Kansas City Chiefs. It certainly works for Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is going to be a wise investment for the Kansas City Chiefs.
To understand the magnitude of what Mahomes did, we need to look at where the Chiefs stood at the beginning of 2024.
Every other team basically got better, and the Chiefs got worse.
They had just secured their 4th Super Bowl appearance in 5 years with 3 victories.
Arrowhead my Whoa! It's Mahomes' house!
The Chiefs were headed back to the Super Bowl.
And the Kansas City Chiefs have won Super Bowl 57.
But success in the NFL comes at a price.
Patrick Mahomes has got a new challenge without his man Tyreek Hill, traded on draft day to Miami.
Every championship run makes your players more valuable, and eventually the bill comes due. Teams like the Seattle Seahawks and Philadelphia Eagles had already shown us what happens when quarterback contracts eat up too much cap space. Their rosters slowly eroded until their championship windows slammed shut.
Tom Brady. I think he missed most or almost all of one season.
The Chiefs were staring down the same barrel. Their defensive anchor, Chris Jones, was heading into free agency after playing on the franchise tag. L'Jarius Sneed, who had developed into one of the league's premier cornerbacks, was also set to hit the open market. The dynasty was at a crossroads, and everyone knew it.
10:54 to go in the first half, and it's 24-0 Houston.
ESPN analysts were already writing obituaries for the Chiefs' era of dominance.
Said that I don't believe that the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs.
I don't think the Chiefs will go like 6-10 or anything like that. But 9-8?
So let's rewind to 2020.
For all the talk about the loss of Tyreek Hill, the Chiefs didn't miss a beat.
When Mahomes signed his historic 10-year, $503 million contract, it was structured unlike anything we'd seen before.
That is obviously the biggest story today. Patrick Mahomes' new mega 10-year extension with the Chiefs, the largest contract in sports history.
By the way, I want him to get $1 billion by this is all said and done.
The deal included unique mechanisms that would allow both sides to adjust as the NFL's financial landscape changed. Think of it like a financial Swiss Army knife, built with tools that could be used when needed.
The deal is actually structured so that they can take care of other players and build a team around Patrick Mahomes.
Touchdown pass number 4.
A little cocky.
But by 2024, those tools were running out. The Chiefs were facing a massive $58,300,000 cap hit for Mahomes alone.
It's a $500 million contract. No, it's not. It's a $140 million contract. That's what's guaranteed no matter what, come hell or high water, $140 million.
To put that in perspective, that's more than what 16 NFL teams were spending on their entire offensive line. It's enough money to sign 2 elite edge rushers or fund an entire defensive secondary. In a league where the salary cap was set at $255,400,000, Having nearly a quarter of it tied up in one player was becoming untenable.
They're going to come back and redo this deal.
The situation was complicated by the exploding quarterback market. Justin Herbert had just reset the market with his new deal. Joe Burrow's contract had shifted paradigms. Even rookie quarterbacks like C.J. Stroud were due for massive extensions soon. The smart money said Mahomes should be leveraging his success for an even bigger payday.
And the Kansas City Chiefs have won Super Bowl 57.
This brings us to March 17th, 2024. While most star quarterbacks would have used this leverage to demand more guaranteed money, Mahomes did something unprecedented. In a single day, he agreed to convert $45 million of his 2024 salary into a signing bonus. Now, this is where we need to break down some NFL salary cap mechanics, because what Mahomes did was actually brilliant.
Mahomes is such a good dude that he did not sign the kind of deal that hamstrings the team going forward. Did not tie this to a percentage of the cap. He wanted something that works for everyone. It certainly works for the Kansas City Chiefs. It certainly works for Patrick Mahomes.
When a player's salary is converted to a signing bonus, it allows the team to spread that cap hit across multiple years, up to 5 years under current NFL rules. Think of it like refinancing a house. Instead of making one massive mortgage payment, you're spreading it out into smaller, more manageable monthly payments. But here's the catch. While this helps the team's immediate cap situation, it actually creates larger cap hits in future years. Mahomes was essentially betting on himself and the NFL's continuing financial growth. The math works like this. Instead of taking a $45 million hit in 2024, the Chiefs could now spread that amount across 5 seasons, creating $36 million in immediate cap space. But this meant adding $9 million to each of the next 5 years' cap numbers. In a league where cap space is king, Mahomes was willing to make his future numbers more challenging to help the team now. The effects of Mahomes' decision were immediate and far-reaching. Within days, the Chiefs had enough financial flexibility to make several crucial moves. First, they secured Chris Jones on a new 3-year deal that kept their defensive cornerstone in Kansas City. Then, they managed to retain L'Jarius Sneed using the franchise tag, keeping their secondary intact. But the impact went beyond just retaining players. The extra cap space allowed the Chiefs to be aggressive in free agency, something they hadn't been able to do in years. They could now pursue veteran talent to supplement their core, adding depth that would be crucial for another Super Bowl run. The entire complexion of their offseason changed because of one player's willingness to think long-term. The ramifications of Mahomes' decision extended far beyond Kansas City. Around the league, other quarterbacks faced increased pressure to follow his example. Teams began pointing to Mahomes during their own contract negotiations, asking their stars to consider the bigger picture. It sparked a larger conversation about the balance between individual earnings and team success.
You know how he runs for just enough and at just the right time.
This wasn't just about football anymore, it was about legacy. In an era where individual brands and earnings often took precedence, Mahomes was charting a different course. He understood something that many players miss. In team sports, individual legacies are built on collective success. Every championship, every playoff run, every memorable moment requires a complete team. By ensuring the Chiefs could keep their core together, Mahomes was actually investing in his own legacy.
MV, Pat, you can't say enough about what this guy means to Kansas City and this team.
And this feels like the start of something.
What makes this move even more remarkable is how it influenced the Chiefs' locker room. When your highest paid player willingly restructures his deal to help the team, it sets a tone. Other players became more willing to work with the front office on their own contracts. The culture of sacrifice for the greater good was reinforced.
Generational dollars. And that's what I think that Patrick Mahomes has opened up potentially for a lot of players down the line in the National Football League.
There's this whole mirage that, it's going to affect everybody and Deshaun and Lamar.
In team meetings, coaches could point to Mahomes' decision as an example of what it takes to maintain a dynasty. To truly appreciate what Mahomes did, we need to look at NFL history. Other great quarterbacks like Tom Brady had taken team-friendly deals before. but never at this scale. The closest parallel might be Brady's various restructures with the Patriots, which helped them maintain their dynasty for 2 decades. But even Brady never had to navigate the kind of massive contract numbers we see in today's NFL. Looking ahead, Mahomes' decision could influence how future quarterback contracts are structured. Teams might start building in more flexibility for restructures. Young quarterbacks might prioritize contract structures that allow for team building over maximum guaranteed money. The ripple effects could reshape how NFL teams approach their salary cap management for years to come. So yes, Patrick Mahomes lost $45 million in 24 hours, but in doing so, he might have just secured his place as the greatest quarterback of all time, because sometimes the biggest wins come from knowing when to take a loss. In a league where individual success often overshadows team achievement, Mahomes reminded us that true greatness isn't just about what you earn, it's about what you're willing to sacrifice to win. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Mahomes' brilliant move, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to never miss another video. Drop a comment below letting me know what player you want me to cover next. And remember, sometimes the biggest plays happen off the field.